thank you to our sponsor, MBA Growth Partners.
Hello and welcome to Studio 501c3. I'm your host, Kim Jones, CEO of the Nonprofit Village. We feature nonprofit organizations designated as 501c3 by the IRS for providing a public benefit. And in many cases, your donations are tax deductible. Nonprofit Village and Montgomery Community Media are partners on Studio 501c3, proudly featuring our county's excellent nonprofit programs and services. Today, I have the pleasure of meeting Dewey Reeves, the Executive Director of Mid-County United Ministries, also known as MUM. MUM helps people in crisis with food, medical attention like prescriptions, eviction prevention, and utilities, helping them towards self-sufficiency. So welcome, Dewey, to the program. Glad to have you here.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Great. So every community across the county, across the country, has people that are in need. There's emergencies, there's chronic needs. How and when did Mid-County United Ministries get established? And tell us a little bit about the programs and services that you offer.
Thank you. MUM was established more than 20 years ago, and it was formulated from a group of individuals that simply saw a need in our community for families that were in crisis. Mm-hmm. And so in the Silver Spring area, Wheaton, Kensington, Rockville, and Aspen Hill is where the program originally began. And the services that they offered were offering families food, medical prescriptions, eviction prevention, and utility shutoff prevention.
So is MUM still that collaborative effort now, almost 20 years later?
Yes, it is. In fact, it has grown tremendously. We sit with a 9-member board that brings a lot of expertise to the organization and the development through grants, through donations, assisting the community. MUM originally was operating as a food bank.
Oh, okay. So that was the only thing that it was doing originally?
Yes, that was the only thing, the food bank, medical prescriptions, and eviction prevention.
Okay. So you've now grown, and you clearly have had to grow in terms of the number of people that you are serving. As I said, some crises are chronic, and some are one time that someone needs temporary assistance. But you're addressing the needs of people in all of those situations. When they come to you, you can actually address any of those needs.
Actually, Kim, and the funny thing about it, it was probably unexpected. When COVID hit, we were serving approximately 25 to 30 families a week from the in-house MUM. Okay. After COVID, we created a mobile pantry where we were going out into the community every Sunday. And what we discovered is that from then until now, we are serving more than 200 families per Sunday. Wow. Over 8,000 pounds of food. And that includes fresh vegetables, fruits, non-perishable items. Families could actually walk away with about 40 pounds of food on each of those Sundays.
Well, it's incredible that number has exploded. It's not surprising considering what we've gone through as a nation and obviously in our own community here in the county. But it's also incredible that many people are in such dire needs. And what I get from people sometimes is, someone said to me recently that they were watching a segment of the local news and they saw, I think it was in Texas, a food line, and people were waiting in line, and they knew that the food pantries were serving a lot more people. And then this person went to, I don't know, a grocery store or something, and it was near a food distribution site. And they wondered what the line was, and they had no idea that there were people actually in Montgomery County that were experiencing the same thing. And that
You're
was
absolutely
shocking to me. And you know, you get that all the time, people that just don't know.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And the fact is, if statistically, there are 50 million families that have food insecurities.
Right.
50 million families.
Okay.
And so what we're doing is just a drop in the bucket to trying to meet that need. But in the scope of things, I think we are doing a great job where we're feeding almost 800 families, you know.
In a month, yeah.
In a month,
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're getting new clients every Sunday. We get on an average of 50 to 60 new clients every Sunday.
Yeah. And we hope that this starts to reverse itself with collectively coming together to do more. We're going to go to break in about a minute, but before we do that, I just want to have you go back and mention once again the actual neighborhoods that you specifically serve in Mid-County.
Sure, we serve the Silver Spring area, Wheaton, Kensington, Rockville, and Aspen Hill. And we actually serve about 5 zip codes, and those zip codes are 20853, 20895, 20896, 20902, and 20906. Now, there are other entities within the community who can service other zip codes, but we try to focus on those particular 5 zip codes.
Okay.
And we try and maximum. Yes.
Yeah, and you probably can refer also to other places. I know, as you said, you're working as a collaborative, so.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, I'll talk more to Dewey Reeves about getting people in need connected to the Mid-County United Ministries MUM services. You're watching Studio 501c3 on Montgomery Community Media. We'll be right back.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
You are there for them. We are here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back to Studio 501c3. I'm Kim Jones, and with me is the Executive Director of the Mid-County United Ministries, Dewey Reeves. So Dewey, before we went to break, we were talking about the areas you serve, but so are you seeing, you know, we've talked about the fact that there's a 10-fold explosion from a year ago in the number of people that you're serving. Are you seeing an even broader concentration of the types of emergency needs beyond hunger that people need help with?
Yes, we are. And we do get those requests. However, we are trying to really focus in and laser focus on the things that we do. But we have other agencies we keep in our, you know, on our desk and in our possession, a list of other agencies whom we can refer different kinds of needs to.
So what kind of agencies, so what are some of the other agencies that you're working in partnership with?
Well, sure. We're working with Montgomery County Food Assistance, Montgomery County Rental Assistance, We can only, based on our particular budget, we have limits that we can spend on rental, prescriptions, medications, and food. However, we have other agencies that we can refer to a greater amount. For example, if someone comes in with an outstanding rent of $2,500, we can really only spend approximately $500 of that.
Okay.
We can only support them in that area. And then we refer them to another agency that we're familiar with.
Okay. But that's good to have at least one place that is kind of the first stop shop. You may not be full stop shopping for someone, but you can be the first stop. And once they get to you, then you have this broader network that you can connect them to.
Yes, we can. And not only that, one of the unique things about the families that we're serving is by and large, a majority of the families are Latino speaking. So we even have other agencies that we can refer them to for non-English speaking families.
Okay.
And then they can complete the paperwork and send that back to us, and then we'll process it.
I see. Okay. And is there something, we've just got a couple of minutes left, but is there something that you also are now having to work to do to build their sustainability, the families? You know, are you also connecting them to employment resources, job skills training, things that will help them improve their own sustainability and stability?
That is one of our major focuses at this point. We're seeking at this point to establish reference points where we can begin to help families to sustain. We help families in crisis, but what we want them to do is at some point become self-sustained.
Right.
So that is one of our major goals at this point, to develop a network with those entities and agencies that can help families to self-sustain.
Okay. So in the last 30 seconds that we have, Mom could probably use more volunteers, more donations. Talk to me quickly about how people can contribute their time and resources.
Well, you know what? We have some of the most dynamic volunteers you can ever imagine. And they come in rain, shine, sleet, or snow. But then there are those who we have to trade off sometimes with those who get busy with other things, with family. So we are always open for volunteers. We're open for financial donations, food donations, and even we had several churches that just came in and donated $1,000 worth of giant gift cards.
Oh, that's incredible.
Sometimes when we happen to run out of food, which rarely ever happens, but if we do, and if we get a family who stops by the office and just doesn't have it,
right,
and we don't have the food available, we can give them a gift card.
Good. All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. There's a lot more, but I want to thank you, Dewey, for joining us from the Mid-County United Ministries. To find out more about the programs of MUM, you can visit their website at mumhelp, mumhelp.org. Studio 501c3 is your resource on nonprofits in Montgomery County. I'm Kim Jones. Thanks for joining us on Montgomery Community Media, and come back next time for more of Studio 501c3.